Montreal is not only the second largest French-speaking city in the world, but it's home since 1978 to the Canadian Grand Prix. The name Villeneuve looms large over this one, but who can write their own legends today? It's one of the fastest races of the season here at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, with around 60% of this 2.7-mile circuit taken at full throttle. There are 14 corners to navigate, the very last of which has its very own infamous history and could be the cause of a safety car today. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. George Russell will begin today's event in pole position, and the smooth operator Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Hamilton, Leclerc, Perez, Fernando Alonso, Norris, Stroll, Cook, Gasly, Magnussen, Albon, Hülkenberg, Oscar Piastri, Bottas, Joe, De Vries, Sargent, Richard Verschoor, Sonoda, Richard Verschoor. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. And what would any Grand Prix weekend be without the one and only Natalie Pinkham? Why don't we get things rolling by talking about George Russell?
What a quali performance. The big question, though, is how does that translate on race day? Can they hold on to that lead? I'm also looking forward to seeing the different strategies in play today. Those who are starting on the red marked soft tyre are going to have a little bit more grip early on, but they have to make it count before the degradation starts to set in.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
That's it for another magnificent Canadian Grand Prix, and they've hung on to take a sublime victory here today. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Quite simply, a driver is nothing without the team behind him. So, a deserved winner, but we do have to give a shout out to the team in the pit lane and back at the factory. Very much a collaborative process.
Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves. So let's review the drivers' standings. Max Verstappen now leads the Drivers' Championship. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Natalie Pinkham, come on, who do you pick?
Often, my go-to would be a driver who's managed to pull off an especially impressive feat during the race. However, in this instance, I was more impressed by Max Verstappen's solid, clean driving throughout the event.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. And pulling further ahead in the standings, it's Red Bull. There was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today as they make their way up the standings. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Yeah, can I fly you to the moon? Can we